thought for the day. We really are. In touch with the forces of the universe. In touch with nature. And that these things come to us through signs, symbols, interactions. Notice what the word interaction is. It's interactions. Well, I guess that's just interactions. But I think of interactions, or whatever. And entering actions is just, it's still entering, you're going to enter, but it's going to enter or in the earth, inside oneself, basically. The earth is a body, like we are a body. And like I say, we made from the earth. Well, I ain't say that, but I said we really are in touch with nature. Some of us are made from the earth more so than others. Some may be more, I feel like, aquatic in nature. Well, at this point, bro, it depends on species, but even within what we call the human race, I mean, I think it's plain to see that we not all the same here, fam. Like, we similar, bro, but we not all the same here, fam. I think that's kind of plain to see. I'm not even talking just in appearance. I'm talking about nature, bro, like the way we really are. I say it's like billions of people here on Earth. You know how much a billion is? That is a lot of people, bro. That is a lot of people, bro. And it's even more species, other animals and beings. You gotta think how large, how vast the Earth is, fam. Like when people talk about flat Earth and all this, man, you can, I don't know, you can say the Earth is flat however much you want to. That's cool. Even a ninja like me accept that, because I see where y'all coming from, bro. It's like, it's a flat surface, kind of, sort of, but you can't even say that's flat because we got different elevations of land and mountains and canyons and all of these types of things, bro. It don't work like that. But as far as like how the surface is, then I see where y'all coming from. But even, y'all gotta think, even these land masses, they have certain, they're like islands, fam. They like have deposits underneath that lead to a point or whatever, fam. Like a big rock or something in the ocean or something. But as far as yeah, man, it's like, y'all gotta understand how vast the Earth is. People put up these videos of like they'll send drones into the sky and it's flat for this amount of whatever you can see. Or if you're in an airplane or something and the sun is that way, but it's like, bro, it's not even high enough to even like see any type of curvature that would occur anyway, fam. You only showing maybe like the surface area of like a region, like a city or something, if that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not enough, bro. It's not enough, bro. You can't see what's going on a whole nother country across, yet alone a whole nother continent, you know what I'm saying, where some curvature may occur. Because to me, man, as far as I'm concerned, I just feel like we're in a large body of water, and there's different levels and densities to water depending on the elements and the minerals that it's composed of. Salt waters and fresh waters, that's just here on Earth as we know it. Imagine the other types of waters, the depths of the oceans, and you know, where it's like I was saying yesterday, when it's levels and layers. Imagine, bro. So it's like Earth as we know it just may be the waters that we familiar with, bro. These waters that we familiar with. They talk about this in Hunter x Hunter, where they start to go off into the dark continents, arc and whatnot, the dark continents or whatnot. But they probably got whole other stars there, fool. Outside, that's a whole other solar system for real, bro. It's like whole other stars that, like, you know, that's the stars of those planets, planes, terras, regions, terrains. You know what I'm saying? Earth as we know it is just Earth as we know it, bro. That's why, fam, when the Dogons was talking about the Nomos coming to visit them and they was from the Sirius star system, bro, they probably really was, fam. They used to come up out the waters, fool. These were like amphibian-like beings, bro. They swimming from ocean to ocean. They cold like that. They super advanced, right? As far as like the types of beings they are. This stuff isn't far off, bro. It's, man. But anyway, going back off into what I was saying earlier. Yeah. Natures of beings. And you can understand why certain people may have their certain doctrines that they abide by or that they are familiar with. You know, I know, and I feel like in Sumeria it was the stars for sure, the stars, and maybe the elements, the forces of nature. I know in African traditions, for sure. You think the stars, the sun, for sure, mostly. The forces of nature, the elements, and the animals, for sure. And Egypt, Kemet, or whatever, the Netaru, the animals, most of their gods are animal-like beings. They have animal features or heads of some sort. The birds, think of the hawk and horse. This was like the grand messenger somewhat, or at least what came down from the heavens. Because if I'm not mistaken, like the hawk was like the highest flying bird, maybe in that region at that time. So it's like, you think about Mexico and Central Americas, the eagle. Family, if you look at the continent of America, it actually looks like a bird, like an eagle. I say it looks like a griffin. If you look at North America, the construct of North America, what it looks like a griffin, fam. And if we talk about Harry Potter and Gryffindor and the serpent, the eagle and the serpent, and the Slytherin, the snake, like I was talking about Mexico, the Mexican flag, the eagle and the serpent. And when we think about the Maya, the Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, dragons. somehow it got to a point where forces started going to war, and nations, this manifested into nations going to war and conquering and civil and what's the word I'm looking for? Colonization. Who's to say who was the good side, who was the bad side, or whatever, bro? History is told by the winners, fam. The examples that are set. Set. Think about that word, set. Horus and Set, or Osiris and Set. Sar and Set. The Set being the dark god, Asar. The thing is, Asar ended up being kind of like both, because he was the king when he was on land, and then when he was killed, he became like the king of the underworld somewhat. So it's like he was like both sides, where his son Heru was the successor, the new sun god who was sent from Ra, kind of sort of. It was like Ra manifested through Asar and Set in a way. Kind of like the story of Mary, Jesus, and Joseph. Or God. Or Jehovah. I don't mean to just name drop, but y'all know. And like I say, these are the forces that spoke to people through these days, bro. Even talking about the story of Noah, like, with the, what is that story about? Like the floods, when the floods happened. This has been recorded in science. It's history. It's something that actually occurred. Y'all can only think about how many floods and stuff just done happened over the decades. I mean, not decades, millennia. These types of things happen all the time. Like, islands get, hurricane, you know what I'm saying? All these types of things. Like, we think about Atlantis, it's continents that done really sunk, bro. Like, for real, for real. They're talking about California. I ain't trying to just put that out, like I said, I ain't trying to just put that out there, but, I ain't wishing this on Cali or nothing, but, they talking about California for the fall off the map type shit. It's something else, bro. They got it as a part. California was actually, like, separated from America, bro. Like, that was actually, like, separated at one point. If you look at, like, earlier, like, maps from, like, I can't say how long ago, but for sure hundreds of years ago. For sure, if not thousands, I don't know, but yeah, man, it was called, like, I want to say it's like it was named after like Khalifa or somebody. It's some feminine figure, like goddess of some sort, I believe. But yeah, man, it's like regions. Like, I think of every region, bro. Like, when I think about like Asian, like Eastern Asia, I like over in those regions, just like think about those guys and the Buddha, and even it's like it's real. Like, that's something I can't. Man, it's hard to even like. They really on another level over there. It's like that's like you really got to tap into this. We're talking about the Buddha and the pineal gland and the pine cone and the 1,000 lotus petals and all this. It's like, yo, that's really like geometry and like really the movements and like tapping in for real, like, to what's really going on inside you and outside you. Like, it's really on that level. So it's like when we talking about that, that's kind of what that represents, fam. It's like we can even break this off in going into the chakras, but I don't want to go off into all that. But that would be like the whatchamacallit chakra, kind of like the crown chakra. We talking about but anyway, like I say, just going over, bro, and it's like going off into the Middle East. This is where we get to talk, looking at nature a lot more. I feel like nature, the elements, these types of things. Like we talk about India and their guys, and Hindu, Shiva, and Kali, and these types of forces, and Shakti and Shavi, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Shiva, I know Shiva, that's something separate, but I think Shiva is like a fire god. And speaking of, going further, we're going off into Greece and their gods. They were more so based off the planets and the stars. Mars was a fire god. Well, god of war anyway. You know, Helios was the figure of the sun, and so we're talking about Egypt and Ra. These types of natures, these things, and we can start thinking about the caduceus and the spine, and even with Moses and the staff and the serpent. And this has been a recent discovery that if the Earth revolves around the sun, and the planets revolve around the sun, and it's not going like this, you know what I'm saying? It's like the sun is moving too, and all of those are spiraling around in this similar motion. All of the planets are spiraling around in this similar motion. So it's like they just kind of seeing it more and more what's going on, but it's gonna be to a point. It's gonna come soon, bro. Because see, this is the reason for people like flat earthers and whatnot. They just challenging theories, bro. They really trying to, they just really trying to get you to come to what's really going on, because it's not this type shit, which I've been saying it is. It's not this type shit. So it's like, that's where people like them, they play their part. And it's like, for the greater good, I say. Because they just pushing the envelope, as a baby would say. I heard him say that. I couldn't think of nothing else to say. But yeah, that's what they doing, bro. It's like, that's where it's appreciated. But that's all I think I just wanted to say, for the most part. The breath is important. The breath, the breast, the chest. I got a bird chest because I'm fly. I was just talking to the birds earlier, communicating with them in a sense. I ain't gonna say talking to them, but I was communicating with them. But anyway. I think that's all I wanted to say for the most part. And I was finna say, I don't know if this is finna be more of a time of separation or integration. I think it's just gonna go however it go, fam. People gonna find their way. That's all I can say at the end of the day. It's gonna be less confusion. That's what I feel like it's gonna happen. People really gonna see where they stand and, what they wanna do, where they wanna go. I feel like that's all it is, bro. That's kind of good. That's kind of a good thing, right? That's a plus, I think. Yeah, bro, because I'm not with that brainwashing shit. That's not cool, Let people choose, bro. But, that's all I got to say, really, bro. Man. Brainwashing is always gonna be a thing, That's just part of the game, fam. That's part of people's powers, for real, Usually people in, like, the comics or whatnot, these people would be the bad guys. They looked at as villains, like people like Mysterio, people who deal with psychosis and these types of things. So, that's just a part of people's powers, some people's powers, for real. So they gonna use the shit, might as well. I mean, do what suits you anyway, bro. I guess get in where you fit in. I guess, I don't know, bro. I can't, I ain't the one to just tell people what to do and what not. But like I say, get it how you live. Hey, picking up on where I left off earlier, what I really meant to say, really for the most part, was really damn near my main objective, even making that video, what I was planning on going off into. When we talking about the Hebrews and the experiences they had with God and how God came to them, we talk about Moses and all of these people, Abraham or whoever, that was just their spirit talking to them, bro. and what they felt like was right for the most part. And I feel like these are beings who were tapped in on a different level as far as the universal energies and what was going on at the time, and what was probably best suited for that region, or maybe even the world at that time. Talk about Noah building the boat. You know what I'm saying? That kind of saved him. His family was the chosen ones. His family was the chosen ones simply because he was the one who knew how to build a fucking ark that was gonna take his family and two of each animal through the flood. You know what I'm saying? So rebuild humanity. That's why he was chosen, because he knew how to do this shit. Built the ark, built big ass ark from them trees and shit. To sustain some rain for 40 days, 40 nights. Whether that was a real story or not, whatever, bro. Whatever you want to say is the ark of the covenant or whatever. When I be saying build your spaceship, this is just protecting yourself and knowing how to get through these things. We talk about Thoth built that spaceship and saved those few from Atlantis, and then rebuilt his empire in what you would say ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The Emerald tablets and all this. What they say, it was something, I think it's something in the Bible or something from ancient times where they say, okay, this is how you sustain the knowledge. It's to build it, either carve it in stone, that's going I think it's like carving in stone that's gonna like withstand any fire, or put it in wood that's gonna float through the carving in wood that's gonna float through a flood. That's gonna float through a flood, so where it can be found again. Going back off into the Hebrews and how they experiences with God and who came to them, this was like spirit talking to them, bro. What they felt like was right at the time, fam. Like I say, it was nature, it was, you know, the animals and everything else, fam, the stars, these types of things. But what I really want to come to, the conclusion that I want to come to for the most part was like, man, we gotta have our own experiences with God, bro, opposed to just following somebody else's, bro. We can't allow someone else's experiences with God and, you know, how God came to them to govern how you feel about yourself and how you feel about the world and these types of things, bro. Because, hey, bro, like I say, we all have our different experiences throughout life, bro, and we all interpret things differently. And it's about, I feel like it's about bringing that shit together and finding some common ground. That's what I've been trying to do here for the most part, you know. But that's all I wanted to say, man. I didn't want to leave that part out because that's what I wanted to really hit on. That's what I really wanted to hit on earlier, bro. So that's it. So I don't know how it ended the last time, but I just know I'm out this time.